So today I have something very different for you people today. Today we're going to be fixing up a major screw up on my car. I broke a valve cover nut or valve cover bolt, and we're going to go and see about replacing it and see what the hell happens. I'll switch over to voiceover at some point because I know for a fact I am not, and I mean not, going to be talking about this entire thing. So we'll switch over to voiceover at some point because I don't want to talk you through exactly what I'm doing. But this might be very entertaining. Also, it'll stop me from swearing whenever I get to it.
All right, welcome to the voiceover. Very first thing you want to do is you want to crack the valve cover bolts. I'm doing it here in a star pattern. I actually do know the proper torque pattern, but I like doing the star pattern when loosening it. Basically, you're just cracking them loose. Once you get them cracked loose, you'll find that they should all be finger tight. And as you can see, right now I'm getting to the middle ones. I'm going to go ahead and remove the spark plug wires. And that number 4 one is apparently giving me fits. Go ahead and rip them all off. Finding the firing order online for this is not particularly difficult, but it is a good idea to mark where it goes. I've torn this engine apart so many times that I know the firing order by heart at this point. So right now you go ahead and remove all the bolts, and then we're going to get ready to remove the valve cover. All right, at this point, you want to go ahead and loosen the 2 bolts that secure the ignition coil to it. If you notice, somehow or other, I've managed to have lost one. So there was only one to remove. Once you get that done, sliding off the valve cover is relatively easy. So, and I'm about to royally screw up the PCV valve? PVC valve? I always get that one messed up too. But here coming up, I'm going to break it in two, which is going to cause a whole other set of issues that we'll get to later on. Okay, here's a note to self. Do not use pliers in an attempt to remove this. You're about to see what happens. Yeah, because it got broken right in half. So now then you can see the bolt that was broken off. It was that center bolt right there. And you are about to see a grown man jump for joy. I go to try and loosen it with pliers because I figured it would be in there nice and tight, and discovered it was only hand tight. That is amazing. That is one of the greatest, easiest fixes of all time. Now you can see me taking that part off. And at this point, I am cleaning off the spots where you have to put black silicone. You're going to put silicone gasket at the casting for the intake cam, the exhaust cam, and the timing, the ignition timing part in the back. That part, those are the 6 spots that are very important to remember to put black silicone. And as you can tell, I'm cleaning them off right now, getting them all nice and sparkly clean and ready. Okay, at this point, you are going to see me applying the silicone. So right there, I'm applying a little bit to each of the 6 spots, and you'll be able to see it when I move my big hand. Yeah, you can see it right there. So then once that is done, we're going to move over to the actual valve cover itself, and we're going to install the gasket. There we go. Now time to install the gasket. Now, once the gasket is in, we'll go ahead and install the actual valve cover. Maybe, there we are. At this point in time, it's probably worth noting that anytime you take the valve cover off, you should replace the valve cover gasket. Don't try to reuse the gasket. That game is only going to end in pure, unadulterated misery of chasing down valve cover leaks and ending up with way too much oil, your engine burning way too much oil. But it's pretty self-explanatory how to put it on. As you can tell, even an idiot like me can do this. There we go. All right, now let's go install it. Maybe. So this is the actual only really tricky part, and that is getting it underneath everything without flipping the gasket up. So should be able to figure it out, but it'll be a little tricky the first time you do it. And apparently it was tricky even though this is like my 50th time doing it. That corner gave me fits. So there we go. Valve cover is now installed. Now it's time to put in the new bolts. I went ahead and got new hardware for it. We'll put it in and we'll go over the proper torquing procedure. Not twerking procedure, but torquing procedure for this. All right, so when you first install them, it really doesn't matter the order you put them in. Just go ahead and get them finger tight. And try and maintain some kind of a front, back, side, side type pattern, but for the finger tight phase, it really doesn't matter. When we get to actually torquing down the bolts, we will go through the actual pattern. All right, now we're going to be at the actual torquing phase of this. And this is done in inch pounds, and it needs to be done in stages. The torque spec is 60 to 75 inch pounds. I believe I went ahead and did 65 inch pounds just to be on the safe side. It's on the lower end. We'll see what happens, but you do it in stages. So you do it first to 30, and you start with the middle one. Then you go to the one right over in front of piston number 1. Then you go to the next one. And again, this is a proper torquing pattern for a Miata valve cover gasket, or valve cover. There you go, that thing. All right, once you're done and gone up the other side, it is very, very, very important that you go down the middle again, because tightening up the outside bolts will probably have loosened the middle bolts. So again, you start on the middle valve cover bolt, go up to the one by number 1, hang a left, go down the outside, go across, go up, and then down the middle again. That is the proper torquing procedure, and it needs to be done in stages, like I said. Finger tight, 30 inch-pounds, 60, 65 inch-pounds. Remember, inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. Foot-pounds, you will break bolts. And right now we're starting the final torque, and we're going to follow the same bolt pattern, and then we'll be done. I'll see you guys at the wrap-up.
So that went a lot smoother than I intended, than I thought it was going to. The bolt was actually really easy to remove. I didn't even need pliers. I'm not gonna leave what I said because it's not YouTube friendly, but that's how you replace a valve cover gasket on a 91 Miata 1.6. Hope you enjoyed it.